So at what point then in this career, right, did Atlassian then start making the transition to enable cloud? Like, were you part of those conversations? Like, when did the cloud, like, well, like, because you guys were in there pretty early, right? Like, most companies are now
Yeah.
barely catching up.
Yeah. So again, it was part of this friction. The first step for cloud was how do we make evaluating the product easier. We just talked about how easy it was to install Confluence into Tomcat, but it was easy for very technical people. But if you had someone who's more of a business person, that wasn't as easy. So we're like, how do you make this like a one-click experience? And that was the first kind of glimpse at cloud. So I was back then in 2005, we opened the US offices. So actually started off in New York, decided New York was too far to fly from Australia. So then moved it to San Francisco. And I spent kind of 3 months at a time there, just helping getting people onboarded. And then I was still working on Confluence back then, loved Confluence. That was kind of the thing I loved working on. And Mike asked me to like come into a meeting and say, hey, just want to talk to you about something. So I want to spin up this team. There's a couple of people that we're hiring or looking to hire in San Francisco. And I want to explore kind of that cloud, like how do we make it easier for people to evaluate the products and kind of start working with cloud. However, that would mean that you can't work on Confluence anymore. And then you have to travel more to San Francisco. It's like, this is a tough choice. But I think like within like a couple of minutes or so, I said, okay, let's do it. So there was a guy called Don Brown. I'm not sure if you remember him. He was quite prolific in the ecosystem. He did a lot of the work around the plugin ecosystem, like plugins 2. Basically, it was just all him writing this. And Michael Knighton, he was the product manager at the time. And the three of us basically formed this team in San Francisco. I think the cloud hosted team or something was called, and basically started building out the first version of Confluence where you could just come to the website and try it out. So that was the first thing.